ATRS energy. I want to speak to many of you guys. First of all, I want to say salutations to my madrina, to my padrino, to my oba, and to all of my brothers and sisters in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lukumi, Congo, and Palo. To each and every one of you guys that are in the church. If this is your first time in my life, my name is Chief Apostle Samuel Jr. I am the apostle and pastor of Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated, and my beliefs are deeply rooted in the ATRs. To each and every one of you guys, I've been doing magic since I was a child, like 3 to 4 years old, and I'm 52 years of age. What's up, my Ryan? Good morning to my Cardinal Air Libra in the house. What's up, Demetrius, my mutable air? I want to say to each and every one of you guys, I'm gonna share something that that's not in a book. That's not in a most of the time when you learn about the ATRs and learn about spirituality, there's not really a course that you can take with this. But this comes along with every practice. It has a lot to do with people's perception about the ATRs, and this doesn't matter if you in the church. This doesn't matter if you at home and you just do your prayers, you just do your affirmations, or you out here practicing the heavier aspects of dark matter and dark energy. So this covers a broad multitude of things, and one of the things that I want to discuss, first of all, let me say this. Hello to Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Aquarius, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, and Virgo. What's up, Mother Susan? Gemini in the house. Whether you watch this later, whether it's something that you watching now, and I want to, because we're dealing with Ogun, and I'm still, I was watching Taya. She's on my TikTok. She's a practitioner, but she was talking about this matter. And I have said this multiple times, multiple ways. So let me try to anchor this in a way that it's not going to stop people from doing it. What's up, Monique for Crab Case in the house? It's not going to stop people from doing it because people have a purpose of why they choose one or the other. And I want to talk about fear versus honor around the ATRs. And pretty much since I was in the world, because of the practices around my family, that people had a fear of me. Before I ever manifested anything, there were people that went before me they already had that stigma. So let's say that stigma. And because I didn't really have an understanding of what I was in, what I was a part of, a lot of things I didn't have control over because I didn't know to have control over it. And one of those things was fear. And when everybody shot, when people, and I'm going to say this, when people don't want to respect you and honor you for what and who you are, they will have a fear, but that fear is based on projection. If I have had people that said, well, I'm not afraid of you. Fear has nothing to do with respecting me and my ideas and my boundaries. When people want to be disrespectful, in spite of your spirituality, in spite of your culture, that's people that don't want repercussion for their actions. This is not people that have a good intention concerning that person. And what I learned is people will weaponize you and your practice to justify their disrespect and disregard for the boundaries you set. And therefore, they become the victim They project themselves as the victim, even though they are the villain. But they're gonna project you because they're gonna set this stage for people. If something happens to me, it's because of some roots. If something happens to me, it's because they practicing voodoo. Not saying, oh, this is happening to me because I'm reaping what I sowed. This is so important because I want practitioners to know. Because if you're going to get into the HR, you already in ATRs, people will hinder your business and your prosperity, projecting you in a light where people will fear you and not come to you because of their bad behavior. I want to make this clear. There are other people that are getting into the HR because they've never had any integrity. They've never had any real influence. And so they get into the HR hoping that people will fear the roots, hoping that people will fear the voodoo, hoping that people will fear the Santeria or Lakumi or whatever you're practicing. And it's psychological. This doesn't mean that that person that you're fearing actually have evolved in a way that they can actually manifest the stuff that they're saying, but they know that you generally have a fear. It's no different than what they do in the church. Fear to go to hell. Make you come to church. Fear that you disobeying God to get your money. It's all fear-based, and it's a mental manipulation. I've had people that tell people, oh, my daddy gonna do this to you if you do that to me, or my cousin, or my family member, whatever. But they'll use you to try to manipulate other people to behave in a certain way regarding them, not you. They will use and weaponize people's fear of you. Because most melanated black people, they don't want to honor. It's simple as honoring somebody's boundaries or honoring somebody's space. But what they will do is that they will project you in an image or energy that will make you a villain, and you will have people having beef with you that you don't even know going on. When I was married, my wife used to do that. Oh, my husband's gonna do this. Why are you putting me in harm's way? I don't even know those people. Because some people can walk up on you thinking you know what time it is, and you really don't. Because I'm a person, I don't bother people. But the people around me, they be bothering people, not only their men, their women, to their money, and then they try to threaten those people with my reputation. I'm going to say this again. If you don't realize how dangerous that is, because everybody ain't going to be scared of that person. I'm talking about me. I hope you see the higher spectrum of things. What's our tree around the Aries in house? When somebody is immature, and don't think they don't know what they're doing, what they're doing. They don't want to suffer certain consequences. So they know somebody is afraid of voodoo or Santeria or the Kumi or the black arts. And these are weaponization of the fear that somebody already has. These people that are manipulators, they know that you scared of snakes. They know that you are afraid of heights. And they will manipulate you and get you to do or not do things for them. That's why I'm telling you, some people ain't gonna stop. They're gonna use your name and put your name in a mix. But you need to be aware of that. And I don't see enough people teaching this, because I was a victim of a lot of this. And when people see that it works, they're going to continue. I'm going to say this again. Even if they come into the knowledge that they're putting you in harm's way and that you realistically don't have nothing to do with those situations, they're still going to do it. because it benefits them. It helps them get to an end to their means. This is a selfish act of putting people like me in danger. And therefore, if you're not protected like that, you're going to find yourself dealing with people throwing at you, people doing conjure against you, people praying prayers against you. And when you come around, people on eggshells. ATRs have already, without nobody's help, been demonized by the Caucasian people. What they didn't understand, they demonized. What they control, they demonized. And black people, melanated people, are still doing it to the day. They're not going to even apologize because they also know why they're doing it. Magic doesn't work like that. I just can't walk around and do whatever I want to do because they're universal laws and there are consequences for anybody. But for you to say that, oh, I don't have to fear hell because it doesn't exist, doesn't mean you don't reap what you sow. What you're really trying to say is, yes, you may have achieved this and that title, but now I don't have to fear you, which means I can disrespect you. I can dishonor you. I can behave in a disrespectful manner, and there should be no consequences for what I'm saying, what I'm doing, or how I am behaving. Have you lost your ever-loving mind? Just like because I'm the pastor, I don't walk in my members' living space. I don't open their refrigerator. I don't do that because I got respect for me and mine. And I'm not going to do to you what I wouldn't do to me. When people don't want to be decent, they hide behind these ATRs. Or, first of all, let me tell y'all something. You're not a victim. If you weren't doing the bullshit you were doing, you wouldn't have to reap certain things. You wouldn't have that energy out there because most of the people, whether they sit down and count up the cost or not, they take certain actions. They take certain behavior. Even attitudes carry a energy. When you choose as a practitioner or you choose as an individual to demonize the ATRs, knowing that you're playing a part, and this is what I was even talking to Mother Susan. When you go around, because I'm melanated and I'm a black man, and I want y'all to think about this. White men have, for 500 years, degraded black men and tried to put them on top. You can go to my website. And they have tried to put the white man on top and the black man on the bottom. And every other melanated person has invested in either trying to get rid of the black man or, and this doesn't negate black women, so don't say this don't affect you because I'm going to weave you into it. I want you to understand, when you get on your soapbox and you talk about how niggas ain't no good, no matter what they done accomplished, no matter what they have been through and how they came out there and mature, you don't care. All black men ain't no good. I want you to understand that. I want you to understand what you feeding into. So when you get into court, and you try to defend your son that got shot down, that got hung, I want you to understand that same perception is out there. And it's going to be very difficult for other women to sympathize with your tears because they perceive that black man as a threat. Even though he was in college with a 4-point GPA, even though he was an aspiring football player, they see him as a threat because you get on your soapbox and you feed into this energy and you weaponize the same things. And black men, you ain't no different. Over sexualizing the black woman. You ain't doing it because you think she's beautiful or because her aesthetic. You think she's something to fuck. Not to marry, not to honor, not to protect. We get on the same bandwagon, and then when we get in court and we trying to defend that a grown police officer that is a white male is slanging a child in her bathing suit. We can't get people to garner support because she is a whore. Because that's what we get on the bandwagon and project along with colonizers. Because we are part of the problem. We can't get help until we start acknowledging that we are jumping on the same way and reinforcing those same ideas, those same concepts. So it don't matter how great I become in the ATRs. No matter what I achieve and how I'm helping people, I'm going to still be painted among black people. Don't worry about the Latinos, the Cubans, us. I'm going to be painted as demonic. And when I leave here, oh, he went to hell. We are part of the problem. What part of that you don't understand? Because just because it's beneficial today, it's going to set us back. I'm not telling you not to call a spade a spade. You can acknowledge somebody's actions without demonizing them. Huh? I got members in my church when they talking about somebody else, oh, you working that stuff on me. But you're doing the same thing. If you weren't fucking with that woman or husband, would you really be in that situation? Why she wrong for praying against your ass? Because that's her husband. Your pussy so good, get your own. Your head game so good, get your own. You so good at business, get your own. You ain't got to drop anything, roots and nothing else on your job if you could get your ass up because you so great. I ain't talking about nobody, us, melanated people. I ain't think this was going to ever fly on TikTok. You're going to hurt yourself because right now, just like you don't realize, the further you get into the ATRS, you become, you fall under the same descriptions and adjectives that other people still saying about black people and their black arts. I want you to understand that this is my lifestyle. I've had people use my name in some stuff and they still don't give a damn because it's beneficial to them right then. People that don't have, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. When people don't have nothing to lose, they will use you and anybody else. It ain't nothing personal. It's wrong, but it ain't nothing personal. Whatever they got to say to get them whatever they feel that is necessary, they're going to use your name. Because they don't have credibility in themselves. You got to understand why people name drop. Because when you don't personally have the integrity and the character and the honor, you got to use somebody else to get what you want. Let me tell y'all something. I grew up in a family of crooks. And I love them and they love me. And the reason why I say that is because, like I tell my children, I've been crooked enough to keep you straight. Y'all trying to run game on this practice. And you don't want to do the work. You don't want to spend the money. You would rather buy a purse and get your hair done than to get your spiritual tool. That means you're not a good steward over that which your egos have blessed you with. You don't want to take credit for your bullshit. You don't want to take credit for your inability to raise your vibration mentally, so you don't have to continue to do that. You're a scavenger. You're a low light, low vibrational, and you don't have a problem with being a low vibration. You have a problem being called. Black people, they can be a whore all day long, but don't call me a whore. They can lie all day long, but don't call me a liar. It only becomes a problem when you identify them based off their character and because of the action that they take. How are you serious about the ATRs when you're not willing to defend the ATRs? When you're not willing to purify language around the ATRs? When you don't want to do your part or take accountability and say, no, it was not anything wrong with voodoo. I did that spell wrong, or I went into that ceremony with the wrong intention. Some of y'all that think that the ATRs or the spirits don't work, they ain't gonna work for you. Because you're not here for them. You're not here for the science. You're here trying to find another way to get out of responsibility and doing your fair share of work in this earth realm to get the harvest that you say you want. And you want to find a cheap and easier way to get what you need without working. It's just that simple. And when people don't want to hear this type of truth, that means you deserve the bullshit that comes up in your life. You deserve the limitations that come up in your life. Because if you want to walk in abundance, then you will apply yourself like everybody else that want abundance. Me and Mother Susan were talking about the trial with Diddy. I don't have to watch Diddy's situation. I come from a family like that. I know how hoes is. Everybody's scared of voodoo, but when you was over there fucking my uncle, you ain't care about voodoo. When you was over there eating some pussy, you ain't care about the roots. When you ain't get what you wanted and it ain't work out the way, all of a sudden, nah, it's the roots. Miss me with that shit. I don't have people's. I'm more visible now than I have ever been when it comes to my practices. But I ain't never had the opportunity to be in the closet about my spirituality because it was already overshadowing me. But I done had to deal with people not only about me. People call themselves getting in a relationship with family members. Oh, is your uncle or your brother that bad and that stuff? You know what I said? Don't worry about what they're saying. I want you to know when people ask you all those questions, they have intention of hurting you. Because that shouldn't even be a concern whether I'm good and great and that stuff as it is. Because they had good intentions by you. Why you concerned about whether my fence around my house is electric or not? Why you concerned about whether I got cameras on my property? If you don't have no intention of robbing me or doing something, throwing myself, that wouldn't even come up. Some of y'all can't critical think. Why you making this an issue? Why you want me ain't been together 3 days and you already asked me, do I got a life insurance policy? What, you intend to kill me? You don't even know where I work at. And you asking me about an insurance policy? These are the things that, because you're not enlightened and you have not gone through these things, or you're not aware of these things, I'm not saying this to change nobody's mind. I'm trying to make black people aware of the stuff that we do, and we try to play innocent. Notice I said play because you know you're not innocent. Don't think another grown man or woman don't know what they're doing. Let me tell you something. I can't bring out the hoe in you if you ain't a hoe. Jesus said, the prince of this world have nothing in me. Therefore, he cannot influence anything. He cannot cultivate anything. And when you have certain tendencies already, I don't believe in tampering with children. But grown men and women, if he's sucking dick, he always wanted to do that. He didn't know how to go about to do that. Huh? She always wanted to be gang bang. But she know that she the mother of the church. But that's a desire in her head. That's a fantasy. And if the right man or woman come along that they feel comfortable, they will fulfill that. It's just that simple. I'm gonna say it's just that simple. Because if you don't want to do something, I don't care who it is, you ain't gonna do it. But if you on the fence about it, you might try it out. And turn around and say, you know what, I don't want to do it no more. But they ain't make you do nothing. Ain't now hoe made me do nothing. I ain't gay. See, the difference between you and me, I don't blame people for my actions. I'm trying to look for somebody that resonates with my actions so I can fulfill my desire. I'm accountable because ain't nobody made me do nothing. I'm 52 years old. One thing that my mama said about her children, she said, I know whatever y'all doing because you want to do it. Because we ain't never lived a life where we had to do anything. She told me about my wife. I was complaining about her. She said, if you ain't want her in your life, she wouldn't be there. That thing stung me. That thing. Because anybody that around me, it's because I really want them to be around me. Because if I don't want your ass around me, I would disappear. You think Aquarius know how to go get ghosts? A Sag? I'll put so much goddamn distance mentally, emotionally between us. The Grand Canyon would be blushing. I ain't the one. I'm trying to get melanated people to understand why truth is so essential in our healing and our development. And how we comply with a lot of stuff and around our spirituality. And how it affects relationships. How it affects us economically. Everybody else can have and I'm talking about black people. Everybody else can have their altars in their business. Everybody else can have their ancestors set up in their business, and we'll go in there and patronize. We'll go in there and spend our money. I don't care if it's a liquor place. I don't care if it's a restaurant. I don't care if it's a hair place. You have no problem with nobody else's imageries and their form of worship and honor of their energy. But when it comes down to a black woman out there sweeping and doing what she got to do for her salon, bitch, you got a problem telling me you don't want her to put her hands in your head because she gonna put them roots on you. But everybody else can have all they paraphernalia spiritual and they spiritual artifact, and you will go in there and patronize. We got some shit going on. Tell me I ain't telling the truth. Call me a liar. Why she Rudy, but you over there fucking with Becky and her tuna casserole with raisins in it, But she doing her conjure too. That's why the Kardashians can go around and do all the shit they do, because in your eyes, melanated men and women, white can do no wrong. Passing for white can do no wrong. Adjacent to white can't do no wrong. But as soon as you see a black woman or a black man doing their conjure, all of a sudden you so goddamn scared. Huh? But when you were sucking these nuts, you weren't worried about I was a root man then. Huh? I was a high chief voodooist priest in the area. When you were goggling up all these inches, it didn't matter. That's why I don't want to hear that shit by Diddy. Because I come from a family. You don't care nothing about the witchcraft, the roots, and nothing else, long as you ride good, eating good, dressing good. Soon as your bitch ass don't get what you want, all of a sudden now, we the devil. We ain't nothing but evil. You done had babies and everything from these niggas. You done been stuck in every hole you got. And you were coming back for more. I done seen it. Ain't nothing new up on the sun, whether it's me or my family or somebody else's family. We see it all the time. And black people, not non-black people, melanated people. How many people already heard about me before they ever came to my church? And they came to my church and benefited from my ministry and turned around and because they want to leave and they didn't want to do their part in the ministry. Turned around and said, oh, he got witchcraft on me. When it's always a spell when you don't want to be held accountable. It's always roots and black magic when you don't want to do your part, when you don't want to be held accountable. Look at me at 52. I went through that in relation. That's why I was in a relationship. Quick, fast, and hurt. The moment you accuse me of putting a spell on you, I remember, and that's what they don't understand about me. I don't have to lay down with somebody. I don't have to be with somebody that thinks they're in my life against their own free will. And this is what I'm saying to women and men that feed into the bullshit. If you accusing a man like me of having to do sorcery to get attention, and I look how I look, I'm built like I'm built, and I'm endowed like I'm endowed, then I know what you taking these other men through. They got their spirituality. I know what you taking these other women through that got their spirituality. Because you can't just have been attracted to me. And I told my mother-in-law, I said, what about me? So this ugly ass nigga that she was with, are you accusing him? Because I know I look good. And these people don't even know I'm an Apostle Ely because I'm just one of the freaks in the orgy. I'm one of the nice looking freaks that's trying to get it down in the orgy. And they are attracted to me. All of a sudden, because I'm in the church and I got a suit on and now I'm a preacher, now all of a sudden I don't have nothing attractive about me. It's got to be a spell. It got to be roots. You want to feed into these spheres, and because you don't want to honor people. Because I'm God's anointed no matter where I am. I have that full understanding. I don't need your approval. I don't need your validation for my spirituality. And neither do I have to allow you to blame me and victimize yourself when you the villain and make me the villain when that ain't my position. Because you ain't never... Let me ask you this, just like I told Mother Susan. Just like Cassie could have walked away, just like Nicole could have walked away from OJ, you ain't want to walk away. Because you didn't want that person, and you didn't want nobody else to have them. If you can have your way, you ain't want them to have no peace. Because you can't stand them to go on with their life. Tell me I'm lying. People in my church would rather pretend that they up under a spell to get what they want out of me and be able to tell their family and other loved ones or whoever they trying to have a conversation. I want to leave, but I'm so scared. Bitch, leave. There ain't no locks on my church. How you gonna be around me all this long time, but you so scared? But you still taking shit from me. You still lying on me. How you so scared? I used to tell my son, you ain't scared of me. You're not afraid of me because you know I don't play the radio. And if you were afraid of me, you wouldn't do the shit you do. I've been afraid of my parents. And I ain't pulled certain stuff around my parents because I ain't want them consequences. But you ain't scared of me. I don't care what kind of violent ass whooping I put down on you. You gonna still disregard my boundary. Some of y'all ain't scared of roots, conjure, or nothing. You need a shield to stand behind. To no matter how this turn out, you want to be seen as the victim. And that's what that defense attorney, and that's what a good spiritual strategy, make that bitch be seen for what she is. I don't care if he a male or female. Huh? You heard all of that because you needed healing. You came into my church. Just say you're a user. What's wrong with that? Why I got to be all these other adjectives instead of you just being a person and say, I needed something from him and he could do it. And I went in there pretending to be a member and to be pretending to be a part of something. And when I got what I wanted out of this situation, I left. Why can't it be just that simple? Because that's the real truth. What about the fact that he's not mean? He want me to respect his craft. He want me to respect what he done been through. What's wrong with that? And you think this ain't going to affect your practice? You don't think this is going to affect your relationship? Then you're sadly mistaken. When people find out that you're practicing the black arts, black people are going to feed. I'm telling you, I don't care if it's your mama, I don't care if it's your daddy, I don't care if it's your brother, your sister. And the moment they want to disrespect you and disrespect your boundaries, they're going to say, oh, you putting rules on, you going over there to pray on me. I'm melanated people. To bring honor around your spirituality, you can't be with the bullshit either. You can't be with the bullshit in the adjectives that are associated with our practice and then try to bring honor to it. You can't testify correctly because you don't want to expose you. How you played into a lot of people being turned away or turned off to spirituality, especially African spirituality, because how you conducted yourself. You don't watch so many horror movies about the ATRS. You're not a good witness. You done been participating in too many of P. Diddy's freak-offs to testify against him. I'm sorry, you're not a credible witness. You done sucked too many dicks to talk about black men. You done had too many vibrators that say you don't want no man. You're not a good witness. I'm sorry. I can't take you seriously. You done went to too many root workers, conjurers, and mystics for me to take you serious. You are part of the problem. And since you always been a problem, you don't see a problem in you being a problem. Why that can't be the truth? Why you got to make all these other practitioners so bad when so many people going to them for help? You'll come in and use my product and try to hook a man or hook a woman. But you'll turn around and talk about somebody put roots on you. Make that make sense. Why you don't see what you doing? Because you know you got too many miles on that pussy. So you need some conjure to help you out. Cause you don't use vinegar and water. That didn't get it tight. Cause the miles outweigh that vinegar and water. You done tried. I done told you you need a pussy rejuvenation. You need surgery. You need somebody to go back and stitch up them lips. Cause you done being beat down so much. Just looking at the car, we know it got many miles. They ain't got to lift up the hood to look at the engine. By the way this been wore out, it look like chewing gum. This pussy has been through something. Why you can't take accountability for your actions in this thing called life? Instead of blaming witchcraft and sorcery and conjure and your inability to want to work in this life and do your proper part. You're going to make it all about, I practice the black arts. And then when I say, why would I put roots on you? Why would I put roots down for some of these members in my church? You're not a fucking asset. You're a liability. But you don't want to hear that because that insults you as a person. But you can't even set free your own goddamn self economically. So why would I do roots and conjure to keep you in my church? Baby, the door swings freely here. I will be glad when your replacement show up. Because I ain't got to beg them. Are you serious? But if somebody be that honest with you, that's why you left the church. Because I told you about your ass. And you thought you were hidden. You thought you were deceiving me. I seen your bitch ass soon you came there with that ragged ass suit. When you sat down in the back of my church, I knew exactly what you were. I'm a seer. Will I treat you like you are? No, I won't. I treat people like I want to be treated. That's what got your ass confused. That's why you think my kindness can be taken for a weakness. Because I believe in treating people how I want to be treated. And so therefore you got that confused that I don't see you. I know exactly what you are. I fucked many tricks. And I became a trick to many people. So don't play with me. And you don't like my honesty because I want you to know why I know you're alive, Billy. I know why. I want you to know why I know exactly why I have to preach and teach the way I teach. Because if you wasn't so deceptive and if you weren't such a liar, then I can be honest with you. But I gotta find ways to tell you the truth. The Bible says a wise man know how to win the soul. I can sit up there and tell people not to do certain things because that's a problem to me. What's wrong with that? And they would disregard what I just said because they don't have the respect for a man. It don't matter what type of man I am. It doesn't matter if I was gay, straight, or bi. You don't have respect for men. His voice means nothing. His achievement means nothing. He's gonna be the fucking president of this race of that country. It means nothing. A man's achievement doesn't mean anything to you. because you don't have no respect. And it goes to the same thing when it comes to women. And people don't think that gonna affect their magic or their energy. Because you think men are something to use. It doesn't matter what form we come in. It doesn't matter what type of man it is. You think men are something for you to use. If you can't fuck it, you don't want it. You trying to label my sexuality because I don't want your pussy. It don't mean I ain't getting pussy. I don't want your pussy. I don't have to have your pussy. And how dare I, as a black man, don't want your particular type of pussy? I can't eat fish unless I'm having your type of fish. I can eat fish every goddamn day. I can even have fish sticks if I want to and never have to fuck you. But because, how dare I? How dare I, as a black man, as a melanated man? So it got to be roots. It got to be witchcraft. It got to be conjuring. Because it can't simply be because he don't want to. Or she don't want to. Because, humans don't have a choice. Because you got a dick. I got to get hard for you. That's your arrogancy. That's not confidence. Because you have no proof of why I should be attracted to you. Because I'm a hunter. And because you act like a bulldagger. Yes, I said it. You act like a goddamn bulldagger. Because you hunt for meat. And I'm a person that I hunt what I want to stick. And you don't respect that. Because you think it's sexy or it make you a strong woman to go after the dick you want. That's your business. But don't judge other men because they rather go out and hunt for what they want to fuck. That ain't got nothing to do with my sexuality. And if I want to fuck your daddy, if I hunt for him, I'm going to fuck him too. How about that? I'm still going to go after your daddy, your uncle, and your cousin to fuck them. Because I don't like to be hunted. Why can't that just be my mentality and my preference? All of a sudden, it got to be roots. It got to be conjured. It got to be mysticism. You're going to always make it about what it ain't about. Because you ain't woman or man enough to stand in your own truth. You're going to make it about the ATRS and the roots and the spirituality. You can't even bring honor to the tradition because you're such a goddamn liar. You can't even bring honor to your practice, your testimonies, because you're not a good witness. You think I'm going to listen to somebody that got fucking swords in their mouth? Everybody know that in order for swords to come about, that disease take a process. Bitch, that's an outbreak. I ain't crazy. You got mumps on your pussy and in your mouth? Sound like herpes to me? Because you can't pass for a clean woman. You can pass for a woman, but not a clean woman. A vaccinated woman, maybe. A treated woman, a woman of prescription or herbal cleansing, but not a clean woman. Fuck that. You want me to live in your lie, in your delusion, and I ain't gonna do it. You can call me a root worker, you can call me a conjurer, a mystic, whatever. At the end of the day, I won't be fucking there. I will admire your beauty and your shape afar off. Because Cassie is definitely a pretty woman. Ain't nobody, Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder know she pretty. But her as a witness against P. Diddy, if that's your best witness, That's why I be worried about testimonies in my church. If that's my best testimony, I'm in trouble. That's why I be looking high and low for other people with character and integrity. A liar can be telling the truth, but everybody know you to be a liar. And they're going to be discounting what I have actually manifested in your life because you don't have the character to represent honor. Do you see why this is so important? Why do you understand why you, sir and ma'am, need to put honor back into the practice? This is why I tell on myself, because I don't want the reflection to be on the practice. See, when you care about your relationship, you will tell on yourself. When you care about energy and frequency of vibration, you will tell on yourself. But when you are trying to hide and save face, you would rather the ATR get the hit for your actions. Why you can't just say you were jealous and that's why you throw it at that person? That's why you pray or wish harm for that person. Because that they are in a place that you think is better than where you at. I'm going through a healing right now from a type of stroke. And it still don't change the truth. I was telling the truth when I was in my 20s. I'm telling the truth now. I'm 52 years old. And I told them, I said, if you come to my church, I ain't gonna say never. But I don't preach about the devil and I don't preach about sin. I may bring those subject matters up to make a reference or a point in something. But my messages are not about hell, sin, and the devil. My messages are truthful, and that's what black people can't stand. When you ask them, was he preaching you in hell? No. Was he demonizing you? No. What the problem? What's your real problem with Apostle Ely said? Because he told the truth. And that's why I know not to take your ass seriously. Because when you can't tell the truth on your own self, how can I take you seriously? You'll make me the problem before you tell the truth on yourself. I ain't never said nobody raped me. I done been fondled. I sure have, but it was invited. I done been rubbed on. I done been felt on, but it was invited. And some people accidentally rubbed on me in a line and bumped and stimulated me. But I ain't make no ruckus about it because I enjoyed it. I always take accountability. And people laugh at things that I say, but it's still based in truth. Why you gonna act like you got a problem with something when you clearly don't have a problem with it? Use a cum swallower. You done done it so much. Why you got a problem with it? Why? Because you don't want to be seen as a cum swallower. But that's all you do. You got everybody DNA in your system. You ain't even selective about the milk that you ingest. Now all of a sudden, because I call you a cum dump or a cum swallower, now all of a sudden Apostle is disrespectful. Well, what the hell do I call you? What would you suggest I call you, identify you as? I'm trying to label this tree by the fruit it bear, but you don't want me to call you by the fruit that coming from your tree. So what should I call you, sir and ma'am? How should I identify your energy, frequency, and vibration? What delusion must I abide in order to be graced in your presence? See, I can come on here and tell my actual truth because you couldn't take it. You can go around and call me all kind of names. and you feel justified. But when I tell my ex-wife, I say, I don't have a problem with y'all members in y'all church talking about me and saying what they say about me. What I have a problem with is it's my turn. You done talked about me, so let me tell you a little about you. You done talked about my mama a little bit, I'm gonna talk about your mama a little bit. You talk about my children a little bit, I'm gonna talk about you talked about my mama a lot, I'm gonna talk about your mammy a lot. What's wrong with it? Now that I got the whole city laughing at you, I'm roasting you from one end to the other about all the dicks you done had in your throat, in your ears, in your ass. You calling somebody gay, and lady, you done took more dick in your ass. Ain't no sex is ain't no sex. Are you jealous that he prefer your husband's ass rather than your ass? Is it really about homosexuality, or is it really about he didn't fuck you in the ass and he fucked your brother in the ass? Tell the real truth. What's the real discrepancy, Cassie? You sit on stage. What is the real issue you got? Because it's too much evidence to prove you ain't got a problem. You ain't got a problem. You'll do a freak off on a Sunday morning at church like you but you want to demonize this man? If he Dracula, you the Countess. If he Dracula, then you damn sure the Countess. And you ain't got no problem with drinking blood, even if it come through the semen. You ain't got no problem. So I don't want you to sit on the stand and act like you got a problem, because you ain't got a problem. A lot of y'all ain't got problems with roots, conjure, and none of that. You got a problem being called for what you is, what you participate in. Ain't damn person walked through my door of my church that did not practice some form of conjure and mysticism. Not one. But they had the nerve to talk about me. The only reason why you are drawn to me, attracted to me, because it's in your bloodline. The only reason why you resonate with me, any hearing of your ears, is because it's in your blood. And what I'm saying and doing resonate. And as much as you self-hate yourself, you ain't gonna bitch, you ain't gonna self-hate me. I ain't gonna let you project your hatred of yourself and the denial of yourself and the self-sabotage of yourself on me. I ain't finna have it. I'm not having it. And if this too much for you, you're not ready for magic. Because energy don't lie. You do, but energy don't. And you ain't gonna make no spiritual that read of any type of sort or any type of level say something to you that is not in your energy. Because if I see it, another spiritual, it don't matter if she a psychic or he a psychic or they do divination, that energy gonna speak. And it gonna tell the truth on you. So if you don't want to be said, stop doing it. Or don't do it at all. Don't demonize, and do not get on the because you don't have no honor. You don't have no respect for the practice, the energy that we yield. And don't use it as a shield and a covering and a cloak for your misconduct. And most people got a problem with me, it's because I'll call your ass out. That shield you trying to stand behind, I'll snatch your ass from under. That cloak you got, I will snap. That's this right here, my favorite one. Oh, yeah. If she won't snatch your mask off for people to see who the fuck you is, your real energy, that's what y'all problem with me. And that's what set me free with my church. I was able, everybody in my church would go out and say they couldn't get people to come to the church because of the stigma on my name. And since I don't go to house and I'm not a gossiper and a talebearer, when I got on social media, I was able to expose them fuckers. Oh, so why am I still prospering? Why are people joining my church and ministry and my tribe? The same thing you said, it was the stigma of the ATRs and the roots. Now I'm just as popular and infamous as I want. And now you more honest about my practice, not because you ain't know, but because now you think it's cool. You such a fucking hypocrite. And I'm not just saying it because I'm on social media. I've always told you that. I told you that to your face. The difference between me and you ain't honest about what you think about me because you don't know nothing about me. All you know, I tell you, I say I fuck around. But I ain't no fuck you, so you can't testify in court. I don't care how much I say I'm a side piece on the tree. I ain't never did it with you. So you can't testify of that. And if you testify that, you're telling a lie. Because you're not an eyewitness. You just hear me say I've been in orgies. You never participated in an orgy with me. So you can't testify that. That's why I could call you a liar. I remember I was divorced quite naturally. But she was saying I was ho-hopping down in Miami. And she saw me in the spirit. And I told my wife, your mama lying. Because I was ho-hopping in Tampa. See, energy don't lie. If God revealed to you, he's always on point. Whatever divine spirit is, they don't have to lie for me. Huh? You heard me say on TV, because I always say stuff on social media and TV, because I ain't ashamed about what I do. So you know that of me, so you trying to make her feel a certain type of way. But you giving out false information and misleading information. Because don't speak for me, I can speak for myself. I'm just that true, I'm just that real about who I am, and I'm still God's anointed. 10 and 27, Isaiah. Because you can't do nothing with my anointing. God knew what I was, but he gave me what he gave me. And he still gave it to me. And you know what? He turned around and feminine energy crowned me. So they intended for me to be able to manifest and do my works. And they know I ain't never been to did it freak off, but I have had my share. My family done had it. We own a hotel, and we hold it was called Hideaway Motel, and we did some hiding. Ma'am and sir, I hid a lot of inches in people. I done it. I'm the first to admit I have buried and hid a lot of inches into a plethora of people. Praise God. I'm unapologetic and I'm unashamed. I'm private, and my mama told me never kiss and tell, and I respect that and honor that. So don't ever think you can do me like. And P Diddy was always open about it. He just another type of Trump. Don't tell me Trump deceive you, because Trump tell you up front what it is. That's why he's saying on national TV, oh, they knew they voted for this. They didn't know it was going to work out like this, but they voted for this. And I am fulfilling that mandate. Stop acting like these people is just showing up in your life. And you know that you invited them in. Let me tell you something. I'm 52 years old. I don't have no regrets of nothing I've done or said. Because I did it all in the name of truth. If you got a problem with the truth and reality, and that I can still walk in honor and still have my issues, you got your fucking issues, and you still want respect. Let me say it like this. I don't care how many How much pussy you done sold to keep a roof on your children's head. You don't want no child that came out your pussy to disrespect you. You don't care what you know. Do you see the reality of that? You can't take away my works. You can't take away my ability. You can't take away none of that because you got a certain problem with my personality or how I conduct myself. But I honor my Egums. I honor my Rishas, my Loas, my Kisi. I have a better character, and I'm more of a truth teller, and I'm also a man that believes in his word as his bond. You can trust me around your husband and your wife. As hoish as I may be, but I don't cross them lines. Now, bitch, I know where my wife works. I got three baby mamas. I got 2 wives. I don't fuck around where they work at. I don't fuck around where they habitate with. And I try my best to stay clear of anybody that can walk up to them and tell them, your husband fucked me, your ex-husband, whatever. Because I'm going to be me. But what I don't do, I don't cross line. I don't cross lines with my family members. That's why I try to get to Alaska, because my family is so huge, I can't even operate around here. They don't touch on so many things. But my respect, I'm not trying to go behind my uncles. Out of respect for myself. You ain't got that kind of character, because you will fuck your sister in her husband, in her house. You will fuck her husband in her bed. You nasty. You can be a freak and a hoe and not be nasty. I'm a freak, a hoe, and anointed. Don't ever forget that. Never get that twisted with Apostle either. Don't think you're going to do a conjure on me because of what you think I am and what I'm doing. That ain't going to give you no ups on me. And I'm still sexy. I'm still healthy. I'm 50. I'm 52 years old with no filter. I don't have to put on. I'm salt and pepper up here. I'm not salt and pepper downstairs. Don't demonize our ATRs because you don't know how to be a decent man or woman. That's all. I love y'all. What's up, Alicia? I'll see y'all later on. It's Mars energy, and I got some conjure to do. All right.